Hey everybody, Christy here and welcome to the Teal Sun. We are in mid-January and in my area it is bitterly cold. So we aren't finding too many garage sales or yard sales, and I thought I'd stay home today. We're like at 27 degrees. I don't want to go outside. I thought I'd record a little bit of a haul for you so that you can see what I found earlier this week in an indoor garage sale. This is a pink glass sugar dish or trinket dish. You can pretty much use it for anything, like maybe a candy dish, just anything you want to keep close by. I've kind of been on the lookout for pink glass. I saw some at the flea market last weekend, but it was a little too expensive for resale. I got this piece for $2. When I researched it online, I saw that multiple platforms are selling for around $10 to $15 for this particular dish. The pink glass is a little harder to find compared to the blue or the green, which is a lot more common. I wouldn't say pink is rare, but it is a little bit more difficult to find, especially for $2. I'll be posting this on my Facebook page, The Teal Sun, as well as taking it out to the flea market to see if I can't make a small profit off of it. This design right here is called Cubist. You can see that it's sort of like a diamond cut, and it just makes the whole dish sparkle. It does have a 3D effect because all of those designs are raised. You can see right there it says KIG Malaysia. That is the maker's mark, and that's what you want to type in to Google or Bing or whatever search engine that you use, and that's how I found what the comps were for this particular dish. One thing I do recommend is if you buy something that is breakable, that you bring it home and you want to, clean it up, just let it sit for a little while because the changes in temperature could make a difference. It was pretty chilly that day that we went out, so I brought it home. I let it sit for a little while before I decided to use warm water to clean it up. I also found this beautiful bowl. It is made in Japan. This design, you'll see that purple band on the inside. That's called lusterware. Some lusterware is really expensive and worth a lot of money. Some lusterware is a little more cheaply made. I don't think this is one of those rare pieces just because of, you can see the damage a little bit on the inside. That flower has got some of the pink that is chipped away. And you probably can't tell in the video, but the purple was also just a tad bit scratched up. I paid 25 cents for this bowl. Again, it was made in Japan. I think I can get a few dollars for this, and for only having paid a quarter, it'll be a nice profit for me. I do like to inspect all of the stuff that I buy for chips and cracks. A lot of times your eyes can deceive you, so I take my fingertips and just kind of skim the rim of that bowl and try to check for any kind of chipping. And this bowl didn't have any chips at all. I won't be pricing this for too much. I'll probably only get, maybe $3 or $4 for it. But at 25 cents, that's a good profit. And again, I'm at the flea market and things don't go for a whole lot of money in my area when you're at a flea market. I also found this really cute green glass canister. It was pretty grungy. It's got a lot of dust and grease on it. But it wasn't hard to clean up. Like I said, I let it sit for a little while to come to room temperature. And then a little bit of hot soapy water just took all the grease right off. This is a part of a 4-piece set. I only paid 25 cents for this one because she didn't have the other 3 canisters. This is the smallest of the set, so it could be a replacement piece for somebody, or if somebody just likes this and uses it as decor in their kitchen, or maybe to save a few things in their bathroom. You could use it for anything. You could probably even put a small plant in it. The set of 4 canisters I saw had sold on eBay for around, I think it was $150. I will probably only price this for a couple of bucks, maybe 3 or 4, so I can have a little room to negotiate. But again, at 25 cents, anything that I make is a profit for me. And it cleaned up very nicely. There was no problems with it, no chips. I think maybe the only issue would probably be that rubber on the inside. It was a little harder than it should be because it's probably old. But other than that, I mean, it's not like it's a canning jar. It's just to save stuff. It's just a canister. So that'll be a nice replacement piece for someone. I also found these 3 mugs. I mentioned in another video that I don't normally pick up individual mugs unless there's some sort of collector's item or just a really unique piece. But I saw this cup at my local Goodwill priced at $3, and that's almost pretty much what they're worth. I could probably get $5 on eBay for it. But this one was an excellent deal. There was no way I could pass it up. I mean, NASCAR is pretty popular. This one's dated 2007, so it's older, and it would be a nice collector's item. The colors are bright. It's not chipped. There's not a crack in it. The inside isn't in the best of shape because this lady did use it, it looks like. But I only paid 10 cents for it, which is practically free. So a lot of my mugs at the booth I do price at around $3. And I've actually done pretty well with my mugs. I sell different things like this. Some of the more unique stuff is a lot easier to sell. I also found this mug here, and it has the royal flush printed on it. I also paid 10 cents for it. It wasn't marked, but a lot of these mugs I saw were sold for around anywhere from $5 to $7. I'll put it at the flea market for $3. Some people negotiate you down to about $2, but I mean, it was 10 cents. How can you not be happy with that kind of a profit? You can see the inside does look like it's used. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use maybe a magic eraser to see if I can't get some of that scuffing off. I don't know if it'll work. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to give it a shot. I thought this mug was so pretty. This is a vintage mug, it looks like to me. Those yellow flowers. Looks hand painted. And this one also didn't have a mark at the bottom. I did try to research it using Google Lens. I typed in different search words, but I couldn't find anything that was exactly like this one. It's also kind of scuffed on the inside, you can see, but I'm going to try to clean it up. Hopefully I'll be able to take some of that off, make it look a little newer. I only paid 10 cents for this mug as well. And you can see that speckling, that's just, you know, shows you it's a little bit older. It's like stoneware, so that speckling does make a difference, I feel. There aren't any chips. I did see this little smudge here, but that's actually part of the paint because it does look hand painted. That's just an imperfection in the way that the painter created this piece. So for 30 cents, I'm going to price these at $3 a piece. I should make a little bit of money off of these at the flea market. The same day that I went to the yard sale, I went to the Salvation Army. When I saw these two mugs, I thought that they might be part of the collection of the previous mug that I had purchased with the yellow flowers. Obviously, they're not from the same collection, but I couldn't remember what it looked like. So I thought I'd go ahead and buy them. I paid 59 cents each for these. They have that speckled stoneware look again, and the handles are painted. I researched these as well, couldn't find exactly the same ones that were priced individually because they come in a set. But they're really pretty, and I'll probably price them at $5 for the pair. The flowers there are also hand painted, I believe, and they have sort of a raised textured surface to them. They're just really pretty. I also found these two little knickknacks and was excited when I saw them. This little alligator or crocodile? No, I think he's an alligator. I thought he was made of wood from the angle that I was seeing him on the display table, but I picked him up and he's actually made of stone. He's a pretty neat little item. Look at those beady eyes. I would really hate to encounter that somewhere with the live alligator. Look at his tail. It almost looks like a rattlesnake rattle. It's pretty neat. It wasn't priced either, but when I asked her how much she wanted for it, she let me have it for 25 cents. I like to have these little knickknacks at the flea market. You don't know what different things people are collecting. And so this gives a little bit of an interesting touch. And I really want people to be able to find something that interests them at my booth, and then also, maybe come back. So that's why I picked him up. I'll probably price him at $3 or $4. And look at this. This made my heart skip a beat because I love unicorns. And brass, again, he's just classic. He's little bitty, but he'll be cute on my mantle. I've got a larger brass unicorn that's plays music, so it'll go neat with that. I paid 50 cents for him. Those two little screws were kind of loose, but I just tightened them right up, wiped off the dust, and he's good to go. He'll be staying in my personal collection to give my other little brass unicorn a little bit of company. Couldn't pass him up for 50 cents. One of the very first things I spotted when I walked in was this purse. It is just so pretty. It is leather. It's got roses on it. It's just really pretty. It does have the print on both sides. And it also has that side pocket on both sides. The inside has multiple pockets and seems to be pretty roomy. When I asked her how much she wanted for it, she said, "Make me an offer." So I offered her $2 and she said, okay. It seemed like it was in really nice condition. And she told me the story that her husband had actually bought this for her in Mexico. And you can see right there, it says Mexico. She had recently lost her husband and was packing up to move out of her home. And it was nice to hear her story. After I offered $2, I realized that the strap is in really bad shape. So I'm hoping I can fix that somehow, probably remove it and add a different leather strap. But I couldn't leave it there. I'd already offered her $2 for it. And the rest of it is in great shape. She took real good care of it. Other than the strap that has come unsewn, there's nothing else wrong with it. I'm going to go ahead and take this to the flea market. I'm not sure what I'll price it at because I'm not really sure of what they're worth, but I might make a small profit off of it. I also picked up these really old hat racks, and I wasn't going to show these because I'm actually keeping these. My mister has a lot of hats and doesn't have anywhere to hang them. But as we were walking out, this one lady said, I haven't seen those in a long time, so I thought maybe people don't know what these are. You can see that they do fold up there. You can hang them in two different ways, either this horizontal way or you can stand it up vertically. The little hooks are there so that you can just nail them into the wall. And it just seems so funny that people aren't aware of what these are, just because I grew up with these. So it has 3 pegs on the top and the bottom and then 4 in the middle. I paid 25 cents each for these. They do need a little bit of tightening, but other than that, they're fine. I thought I might spray paint these a different color because my mister likes royal blue, so maybe I'll paint these for him and make them look a little nicer. They were only 25 cents. We're gonna keep them. We're gonna use them. They'll come in really handy. I also found this really cute table. I set it up on my couch because I couldn't film it while it was on the floor because it's a little bit too large for my camera, but it looks really neat. I mean, I can tell it's a little older. It's sort of this beige, pale yellow color. It's got 3 tiers. I mean, it's kind of wobbly, but I think I'm also going to spray paint this, tighten it up, and just give it some new life. You can see it's missing just a little bit of that coating, but it's just screwed together, so I'm just going to tighten those screws up a little and make it a little sturdier. I'm going to take this out to the flea market, place it up on my counter, and give my side of the booth a little bit of height and some more space to display my stuff. I mean, it is wobbly. You can see it there. It's just rocking back and forth. But it was pretty neat, and when I asked her how much she wanted for it, she was just so sweet and was just ready to get rid of her stuff. She said, just take it, you can have it. And I said, no, I gotta pay something for it. And her friend said, just give her 25 cents. So actually, when she totaled up all of my items, I don't even know if she included it or not. I think my total spend there was like $8.80 or something like that. It was kind of a weird amount, but I'm gonna fix it up and I'll show you what it ends up turning out like. That was everything I purchased at the indoor yard sale, but I do want to share this with you. My sister Sarah has held onto this for so many years. You can see it's got 2 hooks on top to hang onto your wall. Do you know what this is? I think my uncle made this for her when she was very young, and it is just the coolest thing. Watch this. So you set your hair dryer right on top there, fits perfectly, and then you can put your brushes or your curling iron or a flat iron down on those pegs below. You can even hang anything from there. I think it's pretty neat. So it doesn't look quite as shiny as it did because I'm actually working on refinishing it. I took a sanding block and just sanded down some of the varnish that he used to make it nice and pretty. I'm going to paint it a different color. I think I bought the Rust-Oleum in deep mint, I think it is, and it's gonna look really pretty. It's again turquoise because that's my color. I love that color, that teal color. Here's the back. You can see where after he glued those pegs in, he screwed everything in. It's very well made, very sturdy. I don't think any of those things are gonna come apart because we've had it for so long and it still looked brand new. But it's time to give it a little bit of color, change it up a little bit. I'll definitely show you what it ends up looking like after I've finished with it, because I'm also going to redo that small table, and I have a couple other projects that I want to redo. So make sure to come back and check out the way everything turns out. I thank you all so much for joining me on this haul and just for sticking with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and go over to Facebook and follow the Teal Sun. You can also find U.N.I Musical Experience on Facebook and like and follow that page as well. The song that you hear is called Amor Eterno, or Eternal Love. It's a beautiful song. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.